Hello Organics, Double R here, and today we're going to talk about this alleged wokeness thing that everyone keeps wanting to claim they are or are not of. Now let me explain a few things from the get-go. To be awake or woke or whatever the hell you want to call it, it's pretty much not being led around like a sheep. It's to see beyond what they have presented to you and to know that you are being led around by the collar. That's usually what people mean when they say they're awake or they're woke. That's usually what they mean. However, a lot of people who claim that they are woke or awake or whatever seem to have this weird perception of, I'm following a different source of media, so magically I am woke. No, that's not how that works. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. That's not how that works. Just because you stop watching Fox News and you start watching CNN does not make you woke. It doesn't. Hate to be that guy, but just because you watch the Young Turks doesn't mean you're magically woke. Again, hate to be that guy, but that's what people try to play off. Oh, I'm woke. I know what's going on. I'm this, I'm that. Yeah, and then they come back and throw media at you, claiming that that's their source of information. Just because the shepherd in blue isn't grabbing your collar doesn't mean the shepherd in green is grabbing your collar. Are you following what I'm trying to say? Are you getting what I'm getting at? I hope so. Let me break down what I consider are, quote, wokeness levels per se. And we will use the Michael Jackson thing as a great example, because it is probably the best example I can see. Alright? Not being awake at all. Taking everything at face value. Being dirt. Being a normal human. Being a sheep. Being a sheep is pretty much, the media says this, you consider that all truth, whole truth, 100%. They fully disclose everything to you. All the information's out there. 100% of the time, you know from A to B what happened. That is your perception as a sheep. The media will always tell you the truth 100% of the time. They will never falsify facts for you. They will keep everything straight and narrow. They will not edit anything for you. In fact, to go with the example of the Michael Jackson thing, as soon as the media came out and was like, oh yeah, he played with a kid. He's a sex offender. He's this, he's that. The sheep, on that, like, white unrest, on the paper plate, no snowstorm, they were there. They were at it. They were on it. Yeah, Jackson's bad. Oh, he's a pedophile. Yada yada, blah blah blah. And they just go on off of what the media said. That is not being awake. That is just following the media and being a sheep. Period. All right, we got that. That's the first phase. That's bare minimum. That's going to college level. Okay, this is you going into college and professor tells you something, you take it at face value because you have to. That's sheep level. That's sheep. You're not awake. You're asleep like a sheep. Got it? Good. Next level is what most courts call plausible deniability. This is where something in the back of your brain goes, hey, are you really sure about that? It sounds a little not harsh. It just sounds a little off. It doesn't seem to add fully up. It doesn't make sense. I mean, there's him as a person, and then there's him on camera, and from what we know, it doesn't seem to mesh. These are people who kind of went, all right, Jackson paying off the people so he can get back to his concert and his tour, just paying them off, probably a bad call, but since he's in a hurry and he has stuff that he needs to do beyond just this court case, which would drag out and pull him away from his tour, which would cost more money overall, take the quick hit to the pocketbook and just press on. That's how the first level of woke see it. There's plausible deniability. The reason why he paid off the people is so he can just get back to what he's doing. He's got other things to worry about. It's probably going to be a mistake, but he has other things to worry about at this time. The next level off of that level of wokeness are those who go, wait, what other factors are there? Why would he pay them off? Well, again, it goes back to the first level of wokeness who goes, well, he just paid him off to pay him off. He's got things to worry about. This next level is what you're looking for to find out what he does have going on. Oh, look, they happen to try to sue him in that small little window in his tour dates. That small little window where he would be exhausted and really not be focused, to where he's going to listen to his lawyers and his publicists and all that, and whatever they suggest, he's going to go with because he has other things to worry about. This is the next level of wokeness, where they focus on where other factors come in. Is he guilty? We don't know. What we do know is that he has a tour going on, and these other people are starting to try to sue him just so happen in that small window where he would be the most distracted and most trying his best to recover. Very precise strike, very planned strike, which makes you wonder if he really did do it, because now you have to look at the strike timing. If he really did do it, they wouldn't try to time it just when he's most vulnerable. No, they'd put it as soon as they could. Hey, you diddled my kid. We have issues. Boom. Lawsuit. That's where it should have gone. Did it do that? No. They literally went, we want a lawsuit, but wait for the opening. Wait for the opening. Wait for the opening. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. And sue him now. That was the next level of wokeness. Seeing beyond just what, oh, Michael Jackson paid him off. Okay. Beyond just why on all accounts. The next level beyond that are people who go, well, is there any relation between the adults? Is there any relation on why this guy would want to sue Michael Jackson? Is there anything that he would want to accomplish against Michael Jackson? And those with the next level of wokeness go, yeah, we're looking into this guy, his kid, and Jackson. And we're going to find out what is going on. After looking into the situation, of course, you find out that the kid's dad had a problem with Michael Jackson and wanted to ensure that Michael Jackson's reputation was ruined. And he knew it would be the easiest way to ruin somebody by getting them credited as a pedophile. Because, again, it wasn't 2016 and Michael Jackson isn't female. He wasn't going to get celebrated for it and be safe. No. It was going to wreck the reputation, clearly. And because of the timing of the lawsuit, it just made it perfect sense, because by the timing, they knew that Jackson would most likely not try to engage because he had other things to worry about. Again, people called this a mistake because, again, it made it appear that he was guilty by default. Whether he was or not, it didn't matter because the timing. You see how critical timing is on all things. But that's the next level of, quote, wokeness. To know to look for every factor instead of just what the media says. And this leads to the final level of wokeness, the center of the controversy themselves. I'm not saying the best friend because they're that level just underneath. They have to remember these things. The center of the controversy themselves will be the kid's parent and Jackson. They know the truth. Straightforward. They are the heart of the whole situation. They know what's going on. And it's just who can swing what where. For those of you who don't quite understand what I'm getting at, because this doesn't matter to me, okay, we'll try the Gamergate thing. The Gamergate thing is the same level of wokeness theory. Sheep. They go with the CSI, SVU unit, whatever it was. They go based off of the television show and the media. Oh, Gamergate is about getting women out of gaming. Why? Because that's the narrative people spun. That's what the media want you to see. That's how they try to portray it. That's sheep level. And people fall for it. Because, again, doing research, what the hell is that? Your first level wokeness, why is this a thing? You look into it. You take a peek and you take a look around and going, okay, if this is what Gamergate is, and this is what anti-Gamergate is, where did it start from? That's your first level wokeness. Where did it start from? Your next level wokeness, in that case, is after you find out where it started from, you find out both actual policies, both sides. Well, us anti-Gamergaters want women in gaming. Meanwhile, Gamergate itself has a stance about ethics in gaming journalism. That's weird. Why would anti-Gamergate be something totally different than Gamergate? That doesn't make sense. Oh, wait. It does make sense because of the narrative they spun. Ooh, some of you sheep just don't see that, do you? Of course not, because it's RCSI, Special Crimes Unit and all that. Special Victims Unit. Oh, the show has it down to a pat. It has it down perfectly. Gamers are all violent men and yada yada, blah blah blah. Oh my god, really? You're just going to assume that's a thing, even though you know it's a television show? Well, it says that in the media too. Really? 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 Okay. Makes perfect sense. Yeah? Adds up. The next level off of that are those who are actively fighting both sides. Well, let me rephrase that. Those who are actively fighting for the proper side are the actual woke people, versus the narrative spinners who try to make sure the sheep follow them by throwing as much shade as possible to keep the truth from being revealed. You see how that works. And of course, the final one is Ground Zero. Zoe Quinn and her boyfriend. That's Ground Zero. But of course, that is how things go. And the reason why I bring these woke levels up is because that is how everybody acts. Oh, I'm woke. There's such violence against black men from the cops. The black people are stuck fighting cops. Okay, so you're going based off of media. No, that's me being woke. No, you're based off of media because media is saying that. Media is trying to highlight that. Media is trying to get your attention that way. And yet you're saying what the media is saying. You're not woke. You're still a sheep. I'm sorry. You're still a sheep. And I know that's hard for people to hear. You're still a sheep. But when you understand that you're still a sheep, that is your first step to understanding on how to become awake or woke or whatever. And that is the problem that most of you organics have. I kind of feel like Morpheus in that case, where I'm sitting here and I'm telling you things. It's like I'm telling you, Neo. I'm telling you. You got to keep your eyes open. You got to be prepared. Are you even listening to me, or are you looking at the woman in a red dress? That's how it feels. I can tell people from time to time, you're still a sheep. I can tell people this all day. You're still a sheep because you're following media. You're letting the media lead you. Your shepherd just happens to wear plaid, and they're grabbing you by the collar and they're leading you in another direction. Meanwhile, the shepherd in red, who was leading you initially, let go of the collar. You're not seeing that you're still being dragged around and led by narratives. And I'm saying this to everybody, to all you organics, because you do this constantly and you don't even realize you're doing it. And then you come back and scream that you're awake, you're woke, you know the truth. No, you don't know the truth. You're following the media still. You're still following them. You're following them. Stop it. Do your own research. Think for yourselves. Like I yelled at, like my complaint for the third wave feminism. Those who are mostly following that, they're sheep. They're grabbed by the collar and being led a certain way. Reason being is because everyone knows the dictionary definition. Yeah, y'all keep using the dictionary definition, but then you spin the definition itself in active use. Your actual stance is totally different than what the dictionary definition is. You forget this. Well, our people know the truth. Women are oppressed. In some cases, yes. I'm not saying things don't happen. I'm not saying cops aren't against black people. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that you have to look at all factors. You can't just assume they're only against black people. No, you stop that. In fact, let me break this down a little bit further. By the way, I'm already done with the video technically. Again, first 10 minutes, you get the point. I'm going into examples now. So at this point, you can cut off and do whatever you want to do, or you can just hear my examples and follow along with me on that. Okay? Now, on to what I'm saying earlier. Third wave feminism tries to push the fact that everything is sexualized and everything needs to be called out, and everything is sexist and everything is racist, and you have to point everything out, and of course you have to point out the fact that everything is that way. Remember this phrase: everything, 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 everything. That means themselves count. Let that sink in. By wording alone, everything is racist, everything is sexist, and you have to point it all out to include them. But if you point them out, they get upset. They panic. They immediately block you and try to throw the misogyny and all that happy stuff out there to deter you. However, if everything is sexist and everything is racist, that includes themselves. Listen and believe. One of the paradoxes I brought up. If a woman rapes a woman, what happens? Because of clashing narratives. And again, the sheep won't be able to answer this right off the bat. They're just like, nope. Two narratives cannot clash. It never happens. And that is literally the mindset of sheep. Those who are woke go, okay, this might be a thing. We might want to look into this. And then, of course, each level higher goes into more detail to find out each individual case. The Black Lives Matter thing, same situation. It's only cops killing black people. Really? So, walk with me on this and follow along. Because I know media says certain things, but follow along with this. Let's take an example of a black community. You know, like all those rap and hip-hop songs where being a thug is a straight good thing. And yeah, Spike Lee, baby, 100%. Thug, yeah. Making that paper. Got a problem with me, I bust a cap in your ass. That kind of shit. Let's take one of those hoods, for example, where things are that, where the struggle is real. One guy blasts another guy on the street corner. Probably over some random reason. For sake of argument, we're going to say, shot the other guy over a bad drug deal. Just shot him, just try to sell me crack at this kind of price? You fucking asshole. Boom. Done. Cop shows up. He sees it as a homicide. Cop goes within that apartment complex to ask people, have you heard or seen anything? What is the first thing the black people usually say? Just give me an example of what they say. I'll wait a moment. I'll let you think. Go ahead. A cop in a community of black people, black folk, and thugs. Someone just shot somebody else. And the cop just asked, did anyone hear or see anything? First response from other people. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll give you a hint. It's the same thing that's usually said in jail. Go ahead. What? You don't know? Okay, I'll tell you. I'll let you know what they usually say. I ain't no snitch. Yeah, strange how that works, huh? Because, you know, snitches get stitches. Just that simple. I ain't a bitch. I ain't gonna snitch. Because I don't want to get stabbed later. I don't want to get shot later. Snitches get stitches. So, let's let that sink in for just a minute, shall we? From all these happy thug songs, you know, making that paper and shit, and people got a problem, I cap their ass. Really, you cap their ass, then when the police go to investigate, people who seen you cap that guy's ass will not say shit because snitches get stitches. It's a mindset in at least most of the thug community. It's a mindset. They know this. And so, no evidence will get done. Second thing they'll say, if it has anything to do with them, we'll take care of it ourselves. What does this mean? They're going to hunt the person down, kill them, or get killed. Which will bring the cops back out. Has anyone heard or seen anything? Nope. I ain't snitching. And we're back to square one. Funny how that works, isn't it? For those of you who claim to be all woke and everything, you always seem to omit this kind of information. You omit this kind of factoring. You omit black on black violence. You omit white on white violence. You omit same race violence. You omit all these things just so you can follow the narrative that you're being led by the caller for from the media. Oh, look. White cop shot this guy. And the guy happens to be black. Oh, that's all the violence. Black Lives Matter. This is all the violence. The cops are just killing black people left and right and center. Oh my God. And then when you look at numbers, you see that the numbers do not prove this. Now, again, I stress, I'm not saying things like this don't happen. No, I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is you are permitting the news media to grab you by the collar and drag you into their little race war that they want you to have. And if you don't believe me, the new Black Panthers, Black Lives Matter, what are they saying? What's their rhetorics? In fact, chunks of them are running around in the street screaming, what do we want? Dead cops. When do we want it? Now. Now, there are some members of Black Lives Matter who try to gather up a group to protest, and cops show up and they actually have a discussion. No violence. I'm with that. Actual discussion. Great. That's great. I like that. That is something I like to see. Of course, some people don't want to see that. You want to know why I know they don't want to see that? Because they promote violence. They sit there with pictures of Martin Luther King Jr. getting pushed and shoved down and all that, and they go, things would have been a lot different if he was violent. And that's what people are doing in Black Lives Matter. They are literally going back to the Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr. sides here. Some will actually listen and have debates and talks and try to find the problem and fix it, while others will just sit there and say, fuck this noise, kill everybody, and we'll sort it out later. And in both cases, they're both sheep, but at least on one side, there is a possibility of waking up and snapping out of it. On one side, there is hope that you will snap out of it. The other side, nope, you not only were grabbed by the collar and dragged, but you've already been sheared, and you are following along and getting others to do the same. You're walking others into slaughter. You are the lamb leading other sheep to slaughter because your shepherd told you to do so. Now, I understand that you think maybe this guy who's mixed is just out of his fucking mind. Okay, I get that. And this is, if you can't tell, a rant. But I get that. I do. Like I said, I'm mixed. I get to see it from both sides. I get to see white people cross the street to avoid me, and I see black people kind of glare at me because I'm only half black. I get that nice little quote-unquote privilege. Yeah, that's a thing I get to play with. I work in a place where people come up, and some of them will glare at me by default. Black people have glared at me because I'm not fully black. But they manage not to say anything because I'm the one that controls the situation at hand. White people glare at me because I'm not fully white. But again, they don't say anything usually because I'm the one that controls things at hand. However, karma, they both come up with some random complaints to try to get things, try to rile me up, to try to push something to show that, oh, he's not a purebred, fuck him. I just want something free, and I'm going to take it out on this mixed person until he F's up and I get some free for it. That's what people go for. And it's strange. I get to see it from both sides. I'm not saying I'm fully awake. I'm not fully woke. But I'm one of those guys who will see as much information as I can find out there and throw it back. It's like, I want you guys to process this. I want you to understand this. I want you to come to the point of understanding that if you're following media, you are nothing more than a sheep. Now, I understand some things are bad. Some things look horrible. But I've already proven, beyond a shadow of doubt, I've proven already that editing can change what you say. I've already proven that on my channel. And I suck at editing, but I've proven it on my channel. In fact, I'll even put that link in the description because I've proven it already. I've already proven it. I've proven it. That editing can make you say whatever the fuck media wants. Literally. Quite literally. In fact, if you are not certain, a low-level version of this was done in Simpsons, when Homer was charged with sexually assaulting the babysitter. This was brought up again on South Park, where to prove a point, the creators of South Park used a soundboard of Chef for Chef's final episode. They used a soundboard for him, just to prove that you can make people say whatever the hell you want. Because that's what editing does. Editing permits that. And that's why I don't like cutting my little rants off and making it segmented. Unless I go off deep in, which I'm doing pretty much right now. But the point stands. And I'm probably going to break this up rant-wise just to be safe. But the point stands. On Black Lives Matter, third wave feminism, all that, they are literally following a narrative. And the problem with this narrative is that people fall into the narrative easily because they're sheep. Now, again, I stress, not all third wave feminists are full on feminazi Some of them actually are trying to push. I'll give you an example of what I mean by this. One third wave feminist points out that there is a discrepancy where she works. Again, I'm not saying things don't happen, because they do. She tried to make a show based on movies or comics or something, but people didn't take her seriously because she's female. That's a problem. That's a legit thing to bring up. Fine. That's something to be fixed. That's fine. But Rose McGowan throwing a hissy fit about a fucking billboard because she can't read the fucking sign, even though she's an actress and, scripts have words on them. Go figure. That got more attention because guess what? She's a famous actress. Which goes back to my other rant about fucking celebrities. Fucking organics and sheep. Just, if the media ain't grabbing you by the collar, the fucking celebrities got you by the collar. Stop following that. Stop being sheep. Stop being sheep. Again, Black Lives Matter. There's like two fronts. There's the Martin Luther King Jr. front and the Malcolm X front. And you could tell there's a difference. Because, again, some members of Black Lives Matter will say that baby needs to die because he's white. That's it. That's the whole reason. The baby's white? Kill it. You're a white person? Kill it. Martin Luther King Jr. should have been violent because things would have been different. And if you're not violent, you're doing something wrong. That's one rhetoric from Black Lives Matter, where they're marching down the street saying they want dead cops. While other members of Black Lives Matter actually want to hear everything. They want facts. They want data. They want to try and get actual change, as opposed to genocide. And that's where my problem comes in with the organics. That is my problem. When you claim that you're awake and you're woke and you join all these things, you're doing nothing more than swilling and swallowing their Kool-Aid. You're following their narrative so blindly, so happily, because someone's telling you how to think. And even if you think that you are the one standing for the moral high ground and all that, you are not. Because you are pushing their narrative. The only difference is you're trying to become the face of the snake, as opposed to just being part of the body. Do we understand now? Do we see why I get so riled up about this? You're not using actual facts, Double R. I don't need to in this case. I really don't. Because all the evidence is already out there. There have been members of Black Lives Matter who took cops in and had a discussion. There are people who, on behalf of Black Lives Matter, start shooting people. There's folks from ISIS who go, okay, you know what? Hit white targets. Because they're the most expendable. Want to know why they're expendable? Because that's how the news is going to play it off. Why do you think they attack places like France, England, Germany? Why do you think they deal with those countries more so? They do stuff in America. Don't get me wrong, they do stuff in America. But they have a higher chance of hitting white people in these other countries. So guess where they're attacking mostly? Let that sink in. Let that process. And then come back to me and say, I'm wrong. I'll wait to see how many sheep actually try to prove me wrong. Because when y'all try to put up evidence, I'll be nice enough to put up counter evidence. I'll put up evidence on my end to show you how asleep you sheep are. For those of you who are actually awake, I welcome you. I'm pleased to have you aboard. For those of you who are truly awake, beyond my level and whatnot, good on you. I would like for you guys to spread the word and help snap people out of these fucking narratives. That would be awesome. And I emphasize this more so for those with great charisma and higher charisma and all that happy stuff. But I understand that things don't happen. I'm a shadow, kind of what I do. And as a shadow, I get to see this kind of shit constantly. And that's the problem. I get to see all this shit constantly. This is why I play games. This is why I watch movies. This is why I don't do political debates. This is why I don't do narrative debates. Because when I do, not only do I win, I'm not Charlie Sheen winning. I am just straight winning. Because I know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, there's more than what your little media gives you. There's more than what you're going to follow that I have in my arsenal. There's other people who have greater arsenals than I do that would blast your little media theory out the water. And I'm aware of this. I follow everything that I can. I try to put as much information together, and I try to see where people's perceptions are. So I understand what their narratives are versus logistical standpoints. And when you can actually do that, where you can talk to Trump supporters, talk to Bernie supporters, talk to Hillary supporters, and you can see where all their points come from, and then you adjust it and look at things from factual standpoints, then you know where you should vote. When you can look at Black Lives Matter and go, what are y'all doing? And some of them actually come back with logistical reasoning. I'm with it. I'm with it. But then again, you got those on the other side who immediately come back throwing up pictures of Martin Luther King Jr. getting beat down and going, he should have been more violent and things would be a lot different now. Really? You really think that's how that would work? You really think y'all, you don't understand anything if that's what you think. But people will share that picture and people will go out of their way and they'll emphasize it because they think that's how you do things. Change only comes through violence. Well, if that's the way it's going to be, if you are so determined to follow these narratives and be sheep, then you deserve to get slaughtered. Hate to be the bearer of bad news. So go ahead, follow their narratives, and have fun with that. Double R out.